Welcome in. It's the Power Hour stream, flow and charts. If you're new, we look at flow, charting, questions about the market, questions about unusual whales, option flow, anything like that. If you're joining us again, feel free to drop requests in the chat if you got any requests. We're gonna kind of want to spend time on Periscope again too. That was kind of fun yesterday. I'm really starting to kind of incorporate that, so I'd like to really incorporate that into the streams as well. So let's get started here. And it's been kind of a quiet flow day too. So let's sorry, I'm trying to plug my phone in here. It's being complicated. Okay. All right. So yeah, let's start with the market tide here and kind of work our way over. So market tide for the most part, I mean, a lot of choppy action throughout the day. For the most part, our put premiums have been ask side here. All put premiums have out of the money kind of fluctuated between ask side and bid side, but not getting a really good clean signal out of this. It's kind of a hands-off day here. Call premiums, I mean, I would say that tide's a little more bearish leaning though, since we did have that ask side put premium there and bid side call, but kind of getting a whole bunch of nothing right now. Let's kind of take a dive over at Periscope and see what's going on here though. So Periscope wise right now, what I'm kind of seeing here is, so just kind of a quick little breakdown because a good handful of you weren't in here yesterday when we were doing the Periscope stuff. So what I'm looking for on Periscope, like right now, so I'm on the 0 DTE filter here. We'll start there, and I do fluctuate between the two, but we'll start here. So right now what I'm seeing here is we're seeing a lot of positive gamma at this 68.50, 68.45 area right now. And kind of some positive gamma up at that 68.65. Get out of the way. And 68.75. Then we got some positive gamma at 68.30. So the positive gamma here, so typically when you're seeing price come into that positive gamma, you're going to see market makers sell into strength. And then vice versa, when that price comes down to that really strong gamma levels, market makers are going to sell into weakness. Right now, I'm not getting a super good clean read on here. We're kind of in that big pocket right now. We will check the other expirations here, but just kind of why I wouldn't say I'm seeing anything super interesting. Our spot gamma here, most of that is leaning to the downside here, so that is bearish there. And then our put premiums are also ask side there, and call premiums are bid side here. So almost if you're going to be brave on something like this, and it's not the best setup, so let's just do another expiration. Let's just switch to all and see what we got. So if I was looking to trade this right now, and again, it's kind of hands off right now for me just because it's not a really good setup right now. My next target, because this negative gamma here, so when you're seeing these white dots here, that's telling you where that gamma level was at before. So right now, that gamma exposure is 328. We will get another update here at 210. It updates every 10 minutes. But you can see that positive gamma has been shrinking there, so you might not see I'm trying to choose words carefully here. You're not going to probably see a rejection there. I would probably have my level here about that 68.65. So we're going to keep that kind of number in the back of our head here. So just kind of combining our other tools here, that spot gamma, you're getting or heavy negative pressure here. You're still seeing put premiums, ask side call premiums are bid side still, and you're seeing good negative volume here. So if I was going to be brave, I would maybe look at that 68.65. And let's kind of look at a 4-day view. So, I mean, even the 4-day view, you're just in this heavy negative gamma area right now. So, with the heavy negative gamma area, so this is kind of a decent setup right now. So, what I would be looking for, and I would say we're probably not going to see it right now, but if we came up and tested that 68.85, obviously we haven't even been there at all today, so odds are very unlikely we're going to get up there, but this is a 4-day out expiration, so it's taking numbers that way. But if we come up here, I would be looking for, if our numbers were still the same here, I would be looking to potentially short that because your market makers would be selling into strength. Now, vice versa, I would prefer to see us kind of come down to that 68.25 because you have way stronger positive gamma there versus up there. So the negative gamma here, when you see that negative gamma, I like to, so I'm again trying to choose words very carefully. If you're looking for acceleration through this negative gamma here. So if we come up here and test that 68.85, you have a lot of heavy negative gamma up here. So that's a good sign there if you're going to look to short there. And you would be looking for an acceleration down through that. Essentially, the very easy term is when you're seeing a lot of that negative gamma, that move can be faster, a lot quicker there. So like essentially market makers would be throwing gas on the fire, and you're looking for a quick move down there. Now that 4-day view, I mean, you're not going to see that. Let's try the 1-day and see if we got anything here. So maybe a little better here. So if we were looking short here, and our numbers are looking pretty good here right now. So we're coming into this positive gamma at 68.50 right now. And you can see we're starting to kind of reject here. This would be a potential spot where I would be looking for a rejection here. You know your put premiums are up, call premiums are bid side, spot gamma is favoring the downside still there. Let's see what our 0 DTE flow is looking like on our interval. So we are seeing some call flow come in here, so that might make me want to hold off a little bit. But and you're kind of, so when you're targeting these, if we didn't have that positive gamma at 68.45, my target would be that 68.30. So like right now, you might be bouncing around this area a little bit more, so you're not getting a super strong conviction trade there. Let's see if anything switched on the 0-day. We got 3 minutes here. And that 0-day is going to probably give you a better view there. Obviously, if you're scalping 0 days, you probably want a shorter time frame there, but just kind of looking at that 0-day there, you're just in this little positive gamma pocket, nothing really major sticking out there. So we'll keep an eye on that for now, but let's go take a peek at some flow here. AAL has been getting hit all day today. A lot of kind of longer term flow there. I mean, 57-day outputs. And looking at it, I mean, I would assume most of this is going to kind of carry over. Would have to just double check tomorrow to make sure, but I would make a very strong bet that open interest will be very elevated tomorrow. And this one went in that risky flow, just you're already down 5% on the day. I mean, thing crashed at open, so you're, excuse me, almost kind of chasing there. But then again, some more long-dated August puts coming in as well, too. So just a lot of puts coming in on airlines, and I believe Delta saw some as well. Let's just kind of take a peek. Yeah, and some 57 days on Delta, too. So airlines getting a lot of puts coming in, so definitely something to kind of be aware of here. Let's take a peek at these Tesla calls that are coming in. 42 days. We got 3 hits here within the last 5 minutes or so. 4 hits now. Okay, we're getting some good Tesla action here, so let's take a peek. 22% out of the money. 500 calls. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. This might look pretty good. Let's come down here, actually. Set a premium so we can kind of weed out some of that maybe not so good flow. Let's pop this down a little bit. So I'm looking at this, and it's Interesting. So we have that little drop in that IV here. Obviously that flow was pretty early in the morning. So 42.22. You got 42.17. Then we got our IV rising here, and then it rises up again here. No other changes in here. I don't like that little IV decrease in this little section of it. I I would probably lean there buy to open though. I'm gonna throw this in that risky flow channel. That's actually a very interesting piece of flow there for sure. 22% out of the month. That's, I mean, Tesla can move pretty aggressively, so never know what can happen there. But let me just pop this in the channel there. So this will be in that risky flow channel just because of that IV fluctuating around in there a little bit. And we just got another hit come in here actually too. Let's see what we got here. For 231, yeah. I mean, I would probably lean these. I kind of want to grab one of these. These are actually pretty interesting. I might grab one of these actually. Let's see. Let me pull it up. Sorry, on my phone doing a little mobile trading here. Yeah, this is definitely an interesting piece of flow though. Let's see. Yeah, then we can look at AMAT here for you. Let me just pop this bad boy in here quick. March 2nd, call buy. These are 500s. Oh, and it won't let me do it on mobile. Okay, I need to pop something open in the other window here quick. So give me 1 second here. I am not a fan of mobile trading at all. Come on, baby. Okay. Tesla. These are 42 days out. Two. All right, let's get this in there. Yeah, it's really interesting flow there. Like something like this, you can almost make that educated guess that it's probably going to be a buy in there. What were these trading at earlier? 298. Interesting. Interesting. We'll see. I just got to put a stop and stuff on this here quick. So 1 second here. Usually I don't like trading during lives because it's can be a little. Well, and we just got another hit on there. Oh yeah, this. I'm gonna say this is probably definitely a buy. I mean, they're hitting this very aggressively here. Very aggressively here. 298. Just looking at that high there for the day. Okay. Okay. Just want to get a stop and stuff on in case something goes funky while we're trading here. Okay, so this. Okay, I actually have to save this in here since I'm trading that one. And that's the thing with like that risky flow. Like sometimes you just see it and you just kind of know when you look at it. Okay. That is definitely an interesting piece of flow. Okay, let's look at AMAT here for you. Hey, look at that. Already up 1% on my fill. All right. AMAT. Okay. Enough of me trading live. Okay. AMAT. So, okay, let's see. 18 million contracts, but they have positive jacks at 380 and they're trading at 360. I'm not sure how. Negative. No. Okay. So let's just kind of see where we are on here. So I'm looking at. Well, we're just gonna look through the full thing here. So 1 second. So first up, let me pop this back 14 days. So I don't like that huge drop in call premium today. That could be a sign of things to potentially come there. And then you had that drop off in call premium yesterday too. Let's see, what do we got for our contracts today? So a lot of bid side calls there. Wonder if that. Oh yeah, these two are related. at 150 and 155, 59% of the money. That's going to be garbage anyways. Yeah, just kind of a big, junky, deep in the money call there. Let's go back. So, I mean, you're seeing a lot of puts here. Let me get rid of that multi-leg there. I'm just so used to keeping it on where I like to see everything, but for live it's not always that good. So this is interesting here. You got that 323.50 put. So most of that volume is today. It's kind of split here between that bid and the ask. Let's just kind of see if we can maybe get a little read on that. So big spike on that big size and premium there. Not big size compared to everything else. Then you have another spike there. 51.93, 52. Yeah, I would probably lean these are buy to open here. Just kind of looking at that there. Very expensive contracts there. Yeah, that big put premium drop off yesterday is something that kind of concerns me with that one, or the call premium drop off, which would be good for you if you're looking for puts. Let's go back here and see what else we got on this. So we were asking about the gamma here, so we are pretty extended from that. So I mean, you got positive gamma there still, but it's your price is very extended from that. Your net gamma, a lot of that net gamma is positive though. Kind of taking a peek there. Strike. So yeah, a lot of positive gamma. So you do have a good big piece on that 350. I think that 350. What did you say? 360. I'm not sure. Yeah, you're getting a little more positive net gamma here. I would just kind of trying to see here. So I mean, it's telling you by strike there. I'll pop on that put and call. So that 355 is getting some action there. Asking about the 366. Oh, they're trading at 360. I don't know why I read that wrong. I was like, there is no 366 strike in there. That 220 is you're kind of seeing pot net gamma there on those. Yeah. If you want to get rid of the if you just want to see like call gamma, you can just click those and it'll just kind of take that off there. So like right there, I was just kind of looking at that net gamma just to see where that net gamma was there. But I mean, you're favoring those upper strikes there on that call side there. And to be honest with you, I really don't use these three tables that much. I kind of just glance at that daily gamma more so and then try to find flow or go off that net premium there. How's that IV look with it? So your IV, nothing really in the IV rank. You're pretty neutral there. Hey, I'm up almost 5% on those Tesla calls. Look at that. Yeah, I would say with that big drop in that call premium, that's a good sign. The thing that's causing that call premium to drop though is those really deep in the money calls. But more so, I mean, you're seeing a lot of puts kind of hit that feed there too. So I mean, I would say I favor that downside there too. How's our chart look with it? Let's go take a peek at it. Let's take a peek at it. You got a nice little gap to the downside. Yeah, we're at all-time highs. Are you looking maybe short-term, long-term on that one, Lilu? At least 3 weeks. Okay. Let's just look at the weekly here. You're not gonna get a super good read on this one because that chart is already at all-time highs there. But let's just see if we can kind of draw something out. Oops, I don't want to delete my moving averages. All right, we're gonna go back to the daily there because at least that daily shows that gap there. So oh, geez, it's almost Friday. Almost Friday. So I mean, we're having trouble, and I like that big red candle there. Let's kind of whittle this down to the 4 hour and just see what that big red candle was there. So it was this. So I do like seeing that there because that's a heavy volume candle on the 4 hour of selling there. So that's a good sign there. It does almost look like it's kind of flagging here on the 4 hour though. Like if I draw this out, I mean it's almost kind of bull flagging a little bit there. You just kind of see how that volume's declining there. Let's just kind of whittle this down. I just want to see how that volume's looking there. Because you're seeing, I mean, and you're seeing on kind of that, the little bigger run-ups there, little heavier volume there. You are seeing, I mean, besides this one big candle here, kind of lighter volume on the sell-off there. And then you kind of see that volume pick up on those buys. Good volume there. Good green candle there. If I was going to trade this one, so I know you said you were looking at a couple weeks out, I'm just trying to tighten this up a little bit here for you. So you're obviously in a good spot here. So I would almost maybe look at this on the 2 hour here. And if I was going to trade this, because your 20 day on the 2 hour here, it's following up that bottom of the flag almost perfectly there. If you're going to look to short that, I would almost, you're right in the middle there too of that flag. If you wanted a little discounted entry, maybe if we retested that kind of 367-ish area, I mean, depending on what your risk tolerance is too and all that, if you're fine kind of sitting there, if we get a little run up there, I would well, my risk for this one would kind of be easy here. Because on the daily, it's not going to really look like a flag. Yeah, your daily's not a good view. So you have that gap to the downside here from that 348.06 to 341.46. So I like that kind of 2 hour view maybe. I'd keep an eye on that 20-day moving average. But I'd look for my risk would be if we closed above that flag here. So if we close above that 368 on the daily here, so I would continue to watch it on probably the 2 hour here, but I would that'd be my risk here, maybe close above that 370 here, just where we've been seeing rejections here. Otherwise, I mean, if you wanted a momentum entry too, if you saw some good downside movement through the bottom of that 364.58 and that 20-day moving average, which is trending with it, that could be a good momentum entry there too, and then get down there and fill that. There's your, where did I say that gap was on the daily? We got another one down here, 302 to 305. That one would take a little bit to fill. 340 to 347. Yeah, I would kind of target it like that more so. Just it's an interesting spot there. Your daily chart doesn't look good on that flag, but again, when we pop that to that kind of 2 hour channel there, you see that flag a lot better there. And I mean, your pull, your flag, I mean you're looking for a squeeze and squeeze up or squeeze down. I mean, I hate to say it's either or because obviously it's gonna do one of them, but that's what you're looking at. If you're looking for that downside, I mean, that 20-day moving average and that bottom of the flag there is kind of what I'm keeping an eye on. And just looking at that 2-hour too, I mean, you're getting a kind of nice little trend down there. It's having issues getting back over that, so definitely something to keep an eye on. I'm just kind of trying to tighten that up a little bit. So I mean, it looks a little better there, excluding that. Yeah, that's kind of what I'd look for on that one. I'm just the thing that I'm kind of being cautious about is you're seeing a lot of volume on kind of those pickups there on the 2-hour there. So just something I'd be cautious about. Otherwise, yeah, not. I mean, your flow's kind of leaning to the downside there. Some monthlies on those. So good little piece to watch there. Let's see what we're doing on our Periscope here. We were looking at that 6850, I believe, here, and so you can see kind of what we were talking about. So we're back on that 0 DTE flow. 6850, we're not really getting above it, and you're starting to reject. So if I'm looking for this will probably be a good example here. So that 6850 would be the entry. I'm looking for acceleration down through this zone. So I would be targeting that 6830 right now. So this orange bar is giving us a little more confirmation too. So that orange there is, you can see from that 10 minutes ago, we flipped to negative gamma. So you're really looking for acceleration through this area now. So I'm targeting that 6830 from that 6850 there. When you get those gamma flips, it's really interesting too. And again, everything's kind of lining up here. You got your SPY net put premiums ask side. Call premium still trending down a little bit. Good negative volume. Your spot gamma is negative here. So that's, 6850. We're going to target that 6830 right now and just see what happens. Anything new on our interval flow feed? Not much. Still just kind of those calls from a little bit earlier. Let's go back here and just kind of watch. And I'm going to grab a drink here too. So if anybody has any other flow or anything they want me to check out there. Ooh, and we just had a big drop in that SPY put premium there too. That's interesting. So if I'm trading this, I would just be a little cautious because you saw a big drop there. But as of right now, I would still be kind of watching that 6830 from that 6850. Yeah, I wonder if that whole tide kind of dropped. Yeah, I mean, your premiums are really dropping on that tide. We'll see what we get here. So then we got a little 0 DTE put that just kind of hit the feet there. So there would be a little more confirmation there. And even from that 6850, I mean, you're trading, it's only a $5 move. That's not much. But I just want to, because we missed it yesterday, of course I had to hop off for 20 minutes and then we get our move. But again, just keeping an eye for that acceleration through this zone, through that zone. We'll see if we get in. You can see previously here at that 135. I just want to go back here and look at that. Oops. So like you can see how you have that. There's not a lot of kind of gamma or anything going on at the time. So that's probably not going to be the best example. So ignore that there. I was going to say, I was hoping it was going to look like this because I was going to say you can see where it's accelerating through that negative gamma. But you can see we're starting to kind of want to slowly go down here. So just kind of chopping though. Kind of chopping. But just very, very cautious with that big. Oh, and it looks like that put premium kind of bounced a little bit there. So again, this would be kind of giving me a little confirmation there. I wonder, I just want to kind of do a refresh on this, make sure it didn't glitch or anything. Yeah, we're still good. Again, still targeting that 6830 right now. And our spot gamma, I do want to pop that open in another, oh yeah, we got another 0 DTE, so I would be confirming that. I want to show everybody what it means because you're probably not. You see this and you're like, what are you talking about? So let's go look at that. So my spot gamma here. So what that is, that's your total volume here. So you're getting a lot of negative total volume here. So this is favoring the downside right now. So this is very, very almost a very clean look here. Typically when I'm looking at that total volume, I like to see like 250,000 either plus or minus to kind of start seeing some movement. Otherwise, everything else between that, you might see some chop. Like right now, you're seeing very heavy negative 14 million right now in that total volume there. So that's a good sign to continue seeing a potential drop there. But again, we're just kind of chopping at that 68.50 level, and you're seeing those put premiums start climbing up again a little bit there. Anything change on that tide? A little spike in the alls there, but you're out of the money starting to kind of curl up here too, so that's something that may also be slightly intriguing there. Let's go see how those Tesla calls are doing, because I'm back down to only up a percent now. Definitely interesting to see what happens with these. All right, let's go back here. So again, I mean, you can see that 68.50 and our last 10 minutes again, you can see that gamma grew. So we're at 1540 now versus 10 minutes ago where it was 1245. So again, that's giving me some more confirmation that we might start seeing some selling once we get into this 68.50. And your bars just flipped. This is very heavy negative gamma now. You can see that negative gamma grew. This one grew as well. This one slightly dropped a little bit, but you're still seeing really heavy negative gamma there. Positive gamma here, not a significant change. Again, still would remain my price target there. We'll have to see what happens because it's setting up to the downside here. Let's check a couple of our other expirations, and this is on the 0 DTE expiration too. Let's just see what we got elsewhere too. So your 1 day, again, very heavy positive gamma. Again, that 68.30. Let's see, 4 days out. Again, just kind of staying in a heavy negative gamma zone in our all expirations. So that flipped negative there, but we don't really have any positive gamma until that 68.60, and then again that 68.30 has a lot of positive gamma. It's just something to kind of keep an eye on. We'll keep watching it. Again, everything's, I mean, it's our numbers are telling us the downside. Put premiums back up. Did get some positive volume there. Interesting. Everything else is still, let's see, anything new coming in on that flow feed. Just a call. So that negative gamma did kind of decrease a little bit. So we're at negative 12 million, but that's still a heavy downside amount there. What are we, 230 right now? Still watching that 68.50 level again, coming into that positive gamma pocket here. So we'll have to kind of see what happens. Definitely see what happens. Those Tesla calls kind of popped again a little bit. I'm only up 2% on those, 2.76. Anything else? Yeah, just a lot of quiet flow today. Just not a lot there. All put premiums are really taking a dive there, but not really seeing a lot of call participation in that little pop. So that's kind of another decent confirmation there. So again, okay, we're at that 68.50. Let's just keep watching it. Any more flow coming in here? Nothing there. Yeah, that negative gamma is kind of decreasing there. I mean, still favoring the downside, but again, just something to kind of keep an eye on. And a lot of that positive gamma did turn negative too, so that is something that catches my eye as well. We'll just keep an eye on her here. And again, if anybody has any flow or anything they want me to take a peek at too while we're kind of hanging out and waiting, feel free to drop it or questions or so on. Yeah, we might not see that action until a little closer to close, but zero DTEs this late in the day can be a little tricky. I'm just kind of trying to eyeball this too. I mean, it's been a nice, decent kind of trend down here. So okay, starting to kind of see that red bar come in here. I want to see that price really. I want to see market makers sell into this strength. That's what I'm looking for. And again, that 68.30 is our target right now. We'll see how close we get to that. But we're just kind of chopping along right now. Coming in like so you might. No, we didn't talk about Oxy yet. We can take a peek at that here while in a second here. I'm gonna switch tabs, and you know what's gonna happen. We're gonna accelerate through, and then I'm not gonna be able to show anybody. I will look at your Oxy here at 238, unless we get a move there before that, because I want people to kind of just see how it accelerates through that zone if we get that chance here. But you're just seeing a lot of that positive gamma shrinking, so that's giving me some more confirmation there as well. So that this one's also shrinking a little bit, but I'm looking for that move down to that 68.30 here. Looking for that 68.30. Looking for market makers to sell into that strength at that 68.50 and then ride that negative gamma down. Okay, I'm just gonna go look at your Oxy here quick. If we start dumping somebody, ping me real quick there. Or actually, I think I have my Oxy in this one here. So Oxy, you were looking at the 515.65 call. Okay, so that one did not hit my feed, so let's go look that up here. I'm going to close a couple of these tabs. Oxy 65, and that's for 515 right here. So these just kind of came in here, 25% out of the money. Oil's going to be, obviously, with the tensions with Iran and all that stuff going on right now, that's going to play a big influence on oil and energy. Just kind of looking at this tape though, so it's coming in as one of those like block trades where I don't have any flow before it to really confirm how this is kind of reacting and impacting the IV and all that. It is filling a little closer to the ask here, so that is a good sign. Just kind of basing that, I would say these are probably buy to open, and just kind of basing that off the other flow I saw today too. I mean, you saw some other, those Oxy calls actually ran very fast, but that whale looks to still be in. Then you had that, this is a roll there. What else we got for Oxy coming in? I would probably lean, those are buy to open here. How about those 227.54 calls? So they're still in there too. So a lot of your highest volume are still in. That one day you don't really care about too much. I would say that flow, if I had that flow alone, I probably would be a little more hesitant on it, just because of the how it was kind of structured there and coming in as the block, and you didn't really get all that kind of flow to see how that IV is getting impacted and all that. But just kind of combining it with, geopolitical tensions are kind of rising. You've seen other Oxy calls. I would probably lean their buy to open there. Again, that's going to be very heavy on if anything geopolitically happens there, and if some really good news comes out and escalations really calm down, you might see a big dip in energy, and vice versa. If there's an attack or something, you will potentially see that energy explode more. So just that energy stuff is a lot more kind of macro driven too. So it's I don't always kind of do the flow with a grain. I take the flow kind of with a grain of salt with that, just because there's so much volatility in the energy space. Um, Man, we're just chopping at this 68.50 level, and the good thing is you're still seeing. I mean, you're not seeing premiums really catch up with. I mean, calls aren't really rising there, and puts aren't really dropping. Your all put premiums are dropping there. You are getting a lot of positive volume though. Let's see what else we got. How is our interval flow feed looking? Anything new? Just kind of a mix here the last 20 minutes or so. That total volume, it's slowly shrinking. It's still favoring the downside as of right now. And I mean, you can just see what. So when that price is coming into those positive gamma levels, I like to think it's a good suppression area. So it's those positive gamma levels. They can slow price down essentially. It's kind of the easy way of talking about it. Like you can see we're even on that big candle there. I mean, you're seeing that price slow down there, and we're seeing that price slow, and again, market makers sell into that strength, and you're seeing those kind of down dips there. I'm just not getting that big down dip that I want there, and I'm thinking every time I say it looks like it's going, it doesn't go, so I'm not going to jinx it. But again, that 68.30 is our target as of right now. We're close to it. When I'm watching them here, again, spot gamma is still pretty negative. Again, that spot gamma here is the same as this one. This one, I just like to kind of see that number there. So, and you just see that negative gamma is just slowly kind of decreasing there. But again, still favoring the downside. So, okay, we just had a flip. So this is that negative gamma at 68.45 grew even more. So now our last 10 minutes was 28.83. We're now at 47.62, as well as our other one here that was at 26.41. We're now at 32.80. So I'm looking for an acceleration through this zone here. Now this one here, this positive or negative gamma decreased pretty significantly. So that's what that purple bar means. If it decreases by, I think I have mine set at 2,000. So if it's more than 2,000, it's going to show up as a purple bar. So this could turn into positive gamma. We'll see what happens with that. Just with that huge decrease there, I think this might turn into positive gamma. So that 68.35 right now could be my new target there from that 68.30. So we won't again we won't know until we see that 10-minute flip, but you can see that price is kind of coming in here, and our positive gamma here was actually lost here. So now we're seeing negative gamma here as well. So they're starting to, I mean, it wants to go. Wants to go. And this is like the thing with trading 0 DTEs this late in the day too. If you get in chop like this, it might not be the best situation. So I kind of like using this a little earlier in the day. But I'm trying to see this. I want to see this accelerate through this zone, and I keep saying it, and I'm seeing my put premiums here slightly still climbing there, but positive volume. Let's just go look at our interval flow feed. Anything new coming in? Nothing really. So okay, our net gamma really, we got a lot more negative now. We were at what, -10, so favoring the downside. Numbers are telling us the downside. Let's look at a couple other expirations here. Yeah, we can look at those too. Give me 1 second here. So yeah, we're sitting in that negative gamma here. Let's just do a couple other expirations. Just a little quick peeky, because we're just chopping at this level. So that 68.50, I mean, we've been here for a little bit. All right, back to the 0 DTE. All right, let's look at a couple of these others, DLO and Tesla. Those Tesla, we actually looked at Tesla. I'm gonna pop back to those quick because I actually snagged a couple of those here too. So those Tesla 500s, I thought those were very interesting here. I mean, you had a lot come in here. Now, when we looked at that, let's just pop the results out here. So that one went into that risky flow channel. Let me. So this is the part I didn't like here is when you kind of saw that small little tiny decrease in that IV there. We did get it. It did rise up here again at the end. I said just kind of based off how it was hitting the tape and stuff though. I would lean their buy to open there. We did get a big bid side candle there, but they could just be waiting for that small little pullback to get in. But this is, I would probably lean its buy to open here. I mean, 2.3 million now on that chain. Definitely interesting flow though. I snagged a couple of those contracts as well. Let's look at the DLO 405. DLO. Whoops. DLO 405. Why is that right, DLO? Why am I? Is there a different strike on the DLOs there? Oh, okay. You're good. And it's a call. 12 call. For 3/20/26. 2026. Okay. So this one, 8% of the money, not super deep. Again, if they exercise these though, you wouldn't know until that next day. That's the only bad thing with those. Hold on, sorry, I got an alert. My Tesla contracts are slightly running here. I just want to take a peek here. Sorry. And the way this is coming in, again, it's just one of those block trades where you don't really have any other context or flow to kind of see how that's impacting it. I don't have anything after it, before it, just to see how that IV reacts, how that spot acts, that premium, all that. And the other thing with this one, 29 days out, earnings are in 27 days. So I almost would consider this earnings flow there, where you just kind of, you don't know what the intentions are behind it fully. Do we got anything else coming in on DLO here? So a little spike in that net call premium today. So yeah, that is your big chain there. So a really long dated call there. Looks like that just kind of came in. A lot of hits on that one too. Big multi-leg on that one though. I would say, I mean, if you made me pick here, I would probably lean their buy to open there, just kind of based off the other flow. But again, that earnings and that little earnings overlap there, and especially with it being a weekly on earnings, are they trying to trade earnings? Maybe. It's hard to know. Okay, we didn't kind of accelerate through that negative gamma there. So right now, I mean, okay, yeah, we're seeing a lot of kind of changes going on here. So let me just kind of quick through there. Yeah, so the DLO, not to kind of cut off there. Oh, yeah, we had a huge drop in that negative net gamma there. So, and that's the thing too, like with trading in that last half hour too, we're gonna have market on close here in a minute. You're getting most of your market volume is gonna be in the first like 10-15 minutes of the day and the last 10-15 minutes of the day. So you don't want to get caught in that too. I was hoping we'd get a good example there. We didn't get one like we got yesterday. Yeah, we'll have to, we'll just keep an eye on it. we'll keep an eye on it. Like we had a good example yesterday. Yesterday's example was very good. And those Tesla calls looks like they're kind of running here a little bit too. You got a little pop there on Tesla. Just keeping an eye on that. Yeah, you got to be really quick there if you're scalping, and because that 6850 positive really dropped. But even if you are scalping that there, I mean, that 6850 we came down to. Let me just pop this up here. I mean, if you're scalping quickly, that 6850 there came down to it's only a $4 move. That ain't nothing. Never mind. I was gonna say it looked a little better there, but it didn't. Yeah, no, and I mean it's just like any other tool too. It did get kind of a mixed signal there, but again, just something to keep watching. Keep watching. Yeah, that negative gamma flip was a huge decrease there. Huge decrease there. All right, any other flow kind of coming in? Tide, yeah, your put premiums are kind of dropping there. I am gonna laugh though if we yeah, you're gonna get a lot of 0 DTE calls coming here too. I don't know what market on close was there, but yeah, I'm unless you're trading the actual market on close, I probably wouldn't always keep an eye on this just because a lot happens in that last 10-15 minutes. Let's see what's going on here. So negative 5 million still. Yeah, just getting a lot of calls here into close. This is what happened yesterday too, because if you go back and watch that video, saying their position. Oh, we got a big spike in positive gamma up here, so they might be kind of targeting that 6860 now for a potential close there, because that flipped very heavily positive there. What happened yesterday in our live? It was actually a good setup because we so I was looking. Our numbers were aiming short. Well, we got our gap down with everything, so it technically worked out. But if you're trading 0 DTE, you're not going to get that gap up. But looking like they want that 6860 there. I mean, you're just not seeing a lot of call participation here, though. That's the thing that just kind of gets me. And then, I mean, you are seeing positive volume, but not call participation. Puts just kind of chopping there. Again, kind of like I said at the beginning, too, just almost a no signal piece of float. More Delta Airline puts here. They've just been hammering those airline puts. Bad spread and earnings. So yeah, I mean you can see how we're moving up, and you had that big change in that spot gamma there to the upside. Yeah, just something to keeping an eye on what happens here. Pop this back to Periscope, and we'll just kind of finish the day at that. So yeah, right now, I mean, it looks like they're targeting that 6860 with their long calls there. And now I'd laugh if we dumped it. And you can see how all that positive gamma kind of started to decrease there too. So a lot of that positioning moved up to that 6860. All right, let's see. All right, and I'm just managing my positions here on my other screen. Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, there's a big flip there. Big flip. So now that we're coming up to that 68.60, again, obviously you've got 5 minutes left in the day, so probably not gonna try to trade that anyways. But again, we're coming into that strength. You're looking for market makers to sell into that strength there, but so late in the day, probably not wanting to really touch that anyways. But we'll see what happens. It's a fun to and with the lives, I have to do them a little earlier in the day too, because you can kind of see that reaction a little better versus kind of that last half hour or 40 minutes, just when you're getting a lot of volume coming in. But you can see how we came up to that positive 68.60 and you start seeing selling pressure. So now what I'm looking for is an acceleration back down through this zone here. Again, 4 minutes left though. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Again, that last 10-15 minutes, very volatile. But that's what we wanted to see. So that's essentially what we kind of wanted to see at that original 68.50 level. We came up, rejected it, and you're seeing that move starting to come down here. We'll see what we got though. How much gas we got into close here. Anything new on the interval flow? Yeah, just a lot of. I mean, they're hitting those 0-day DTE calls still. Negative gamma. So just keeping an eye on that. And most of that Periscope's just kind of a waiting game too. Big waiting game. I am scared to look on Twitter though and like type in Tesla, because I bet you a bunch of people are talking about those Tesla calls. Oh, yep. A lot of people talking about Tesla calls. Cool. I don't like when I see other fin Twitters talking about it. 2 minutes left. What are we going to finish at? So, I mean, at least you kind of saw what a decent rejection looks like there. I mean, you're just not seeing that full move down like we want to see. Two minutes to go. Yeah, I mean, you just see how it's softening there. Yeah, that's one thing I don't do is usually trade that last 10 minutes of the day. I'm up about 7% on those Tesla calls. I kind of want to take them just since I know FinTwit's talking about them. I might just take the quick 7% and call it a day here on those. So we did come back up to that 68.60. Obviously, you're not going to be trading on 0DTE here with a minute left. But we got a decent little example there. I mean, you saw how we came up and kind of suppressed there a little bit, but not that full suppression down. But All right, everybody, we'll see what happens tomorrow. That's all I got for today. So have a great evening, and I will catch everybody tomorrow.